Hey everybody, in the mail yesterday I got a box of books, and in that box was a first UK trade edition of Dolores Claiborne. And I noticed when I'm looking it over that the jacket is a little dirty. It is covered in Mylar, which is good. That keeps it from getting rubbed and worn in that way. But the Mylar, as sometimes happens over years, is also looking kind of worn. It's definitely showing some shelf wear. There's some creasing to the jacket I can see under the Mylar, but really it's just got some smudges and some soiling and some dirt, and I think that it will clean up really nicely. So what I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to take the jacket off, I'm going to take the Mylar off, I'm going to clean it up, and I'm going to put it in a fresh Mylar. And I'm going to show you what steps I take to make that happen and do a bit of a before and after review. Okay, so thanks. Okay, so as you can see, there's some soiling to this jacket, and the jacket being white doesn't do it any favors because it's going to show anything that happens to it. But I think a big part of the issue here might be the old Mylar. So take that off of the book, and I'm going to open up the old Mylar, or rip it off, because it does have adhesive on it. Not an approach I ever choose to take, but it does happen. Alright, so I'll take that off. And I have no idea if you can see what I'm seeing in the video, but yeah, definitely not bright and fresh. It has seen better days. So what we're left with doesn't look as bad, but you can tell in this area that the flap that's been inside the book is much brighter on both sides, and then the main part that has been exposed to the sun and the elements is a bit more tan. And that is sun damage, unfortunately, but still looks sharp. And the price was really good on this, so I'm really excited about having this book, and I'm excited about getting to clean it up because I like doing stuff like that. So there's a lot of suggestions out there for how to clean a book, and I don't know if this is the perfect solution, but it has always worked well for me, and I use baby wipes. Believe it or not, the unscented, sensitive skin, I figure if it's gentle enough for a newborn's tushy, it's got to be gentle enough for a book jacket. So I take the baby wipe and just gently rub it over the jacket. Jackets that are laminated, as this one is. I mean, there's a little bit of moisture involved with this process, but it's not too bad. And you can see I am picking up quite a bit of soiling off that jacket. Sorry for shaking the camera there. So some of the stuff is not coming off. So some of the stuff is a little bit more baked in or permanent to the jacket. Get in there in that crease. Clean that best I can. All right. just gonna keep going over what I am seeing here. And it at least picks up the dirt and the smudging and the soiling, the organic soiling that was on the jacket. That looks pretty solid. And you can see, definitely see, it picked some stuff up. OMG, I just realized that this author photo, which I've seen many, many times for years, is Stephen King holding a cat. I never noticed that the cat was there. Oh my goodness. Anyway, total squirrel. So, okay, it's better. It's definitely better. It's not perfect. I was hoping that some of this would come up, but that seems to be pretty permanent to the jacket. So there's a little bit of dampness, a little bit of moisture here. So I'm gonna let that dry, and I'm going to get a new Mylar pulled out and ready. I'll get my bone folder out. Check this over. Yep, still just a little bit potentially damp. So I'm gonna give that another minute or so to get my new Mylar opened up and ready to go. Prep that by pressing down on some of the seams so that the flaps more easily stay open. That just makes the whole process go smoother, makes it a bit easier to work with. Okay, so that is decent. Jacket is dry, so I'm going to flip that over and try to eyeball it and line it up as best I can at first for this end back over. Check my evenness, a little bit that way. Fold my top end over. Gonna try to find that sweet spot where the jacket wants to lay flat, and don't press much harder than that before I go to town on this with the bone folder and really solidify the creases that I'm building in. Bend this crease back the other way to flatten it out a little bit. I'm just using my hands to make some adjustments. I'll check on that side. A little bit of issue with the jacket, but the fit looks pretty good. So yeah, that was pretty easy peasy. So now I'm gonna use my bone folder and solidify that crease. Press that down, make it nice and tight. And voila. So it obviously still not perfect. The jacket itself is not perfect, but the fresh Mylar, at least the Mylar is no longer an issue, making the jacket look worse than it actually is. The Mylar is just clear and transparent and shows the jacket as it is. And it's not perfect, but it looks a lot better than it did. Nice and cleaned up, fresh Mylar, a little bit of something under there. I'm actually going to wipe that off, because that's just gonna bother me. I know me, and that's just gonna bother me. So that line back up again. Yep. Nice thing about a fresh Mylar is once you've creased it, it becomes a lot easier to stick the Mylar back in right where it goes. Yep. Looks good. Looks good. So I'm gonna get the book back in there. Retrain the creasing on the Mylar. It's gonna be, it always takes a little bit of training and working the jacket back in to get it to seat just so. But anyway, yeah, I'll do a little bit more work on that, but there's my now cleaned up, slightly improved in appearance, UK first of Dolores Claiborne. Thanks. I hope this has been helpful.